Hi folks, Steven here. So by now you've probably heard plenty about the technical problems at the recent Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago. I was there and I want to give you my personal account of it. So first off, rather than staying downtown, I decided I would stay at a hotel near O'Hare. It was cheaper and it saves me a bit of driving time. So I got up on Saturday and I took the L, which is sort of basically a subway. It's only underground for part of it, but you get the idea. Train that runs from here all the way to downtown. Now, I could have gone there around 10, which is when the general admission started letting people in. But instead, I actually decided to wait a little bit, to get a little more sleep, and I had hoped by the time I got there that they would get most of the crowd, most of the line in there. But I got there around 11:30, and no, that was not the case. In fact, I actually ended up waiting in line near a fountain just south of the main area of Granite Park they were using, and was there for almost 2 hours. It's not quite the Nintendo NY waiting from last year, but it was pretty long. Did eventually get in, and then I sort of took stock of what was there. They had a lounge for each of the teams there, Instinct, Valor, Mystic. And they had some food vendors and a bunch of Pokestops, as you might expect. I would say my only problem with the event grounds is something obviously that Niantic could not have really foreseen or done anything about. A lot of the ground was still kind of wet and muddy from a rainstorm that went through on Friday. It was a huge downpour, and it's not surprising the ground was still a little bit moist in places. But that's kind of where the issues kind of hit. I am on AT&T, which, talking with a few folks, seems to be the major carrier that had the most technical issues. There were a couple of Wi-Fi hotspots around the area, which I eventually managed to use to sort of check in and register so I could get the patch in my thing there. But other than a few Pokemon I managed to catch on the grounds, really did not have a lot of luck. The app would crash a lot, just a ton of technical issues. What they eventually did, as you may have heard, is they expanded the radius of the event. You still had to have like the badge and sign up and stuff, but they increased the spawn area to be outside the event itself to cover the downtown loop, as it's known in Chicago. And so eventually I kind of decided to just leave the area and sort of take my chances out in downtown Chicago. Actually, it's kind of interesting. It's my first real attempt doing Pokemon Go in an urban setting, believe it or not. And I did notice it had some trouble locating precisely where I was. But even then, when I was a couple blocks away, it was very unstable in the application. It crashed a lot. But I did manage to get some Pokemon. I got Heracross, one of the big things they were promoting there. And, a couple unknown, which, in case you didn't notice, were the letters from the city named Chicago. So, I didn't have the highest expectations for this event, to be quite honest. I wasn't expecting quite this level of problems, but I was more interested in the social aspect. I've never been a super avid Pokemon Go player. So I wouldn't go to another one of these unless they really did fix some of this stuff, and they do sound like they're going to do more of these. Hopefully they can iron that stuff out. But I don't consider it a complete waste of time. I do feel bad for the folks who came from, across the country or even across the world to go to this. I hope they have some other things to take care of in Chicago to see. But if you have any questions, go ahead, leave us a comment. Always like those. All right, folks, thanks.